So how do you write critically? Writing critically means analysis and evaluation. Analysis is connected with examining something in detail, and evaluation is connected with making a personal choice based on your reasoning. Try not to confuse critical writing with description. You may need to give background and factual information when you write, but the purpose of writing at university is to encourage you to think for yourselves and express your own ideas about your learning, not just describe the way things are. This introduction to the report contains background information. The writer needs to set the context and restate the instructions to show that she's understood them. The first section establishes the context for the report. The situation regarding the village, its need for a new play area, and the local government's budget is explained, and the items of play equipment to choose between are listed. It's very clear that the writer understands what she has to do in the report. In this paragraph, however, the writer chooses one item, the climbing frame, and picks out its main strengths. These are that it's popular, challenging, and useful for developing physical skills and psychological risk-taking. She also discusses a drawback, that younger children need to be supervised when using it. While assessing these different points, the writer makes an evaluation, a kind of judgment, and decides that despite its unsuitability for very young children, and the fact that it's relatively expensive, the advantages outweigh these drawbacks, and the climbing frame is chosen. In the next paragraph, the writer focuses on the needs of younger children and those youngsters who prefer creative rather than physical play. She notes that both the playhouse and the sandpit provide safe places where younger children can play without much supervision. She suggests the compromise of positioning the playhouse within the sandpit to maximize play opportunities. By explaining her reasoning process, the writer justifies her second choice. The advantages and disadvantages of the remaining items are then assessed. The writer decides that the seesaw is too limited on a practical basis, as only 2 children in theory can play on it at a time, so it's rejected. The benefits and drawbacks of the swing are then established, i.e. it's popular and fairly inexpensive, and children who go to the park alone can play on it. It's true that children may get bored waiting for their turn, but the writer judges the swing's popularity and adaptability, even for very young children, to be of overriding importance, and so the decision is made to invest in 2 of these. The writer then makes a decision to choose the accessible roundabout as the final item. This choice is a response to the specification that the play area needs to cater for all children at all levels of physical ability, but the writer also gives her own evaluation of the roundabout by pointing out that this item will encourage sociability and cooperation. In this way, the writer provides an analysis of the benefits of this type of roundabout, while also justifying its inclusion, or in other words, giving supporting reasons for its choice. The benefits of the slide, that the turns are quick and both older and younger children can use it, are referred to, but since the project has reached the limits of its budget, the writer suggests another compromise, i.e. a small slide as part of the climbing frame. The final paragraph sums up the recommendations, and the writer concludes that she has completed the task set and that it is within budget. She also shows that she's respected the word count. So what sort of language have we seen for analysis and evaluation? Well, you can see here that analysis and evaluation involves disadvantages, advantages, giving reasons, differences, similarities, cause and effect, contrasting information, making concessions. And concession means that although one thing is true, another thing is also true, and the second thing outweighs the first thing. For example, in the sentence, although young children can't use the climbing frame without an adult, that's true, they can't use a climbing frame without an adult. This is also true, that it's useful for children to a wide age range. And this wide age range is seen to be more important than the fact that young children can't use climbing frame without an adult. So the second thing is considered to be more important than the first thing. So that's concession. Yes, this is true, but this is also true, and the second thing to me is more important than the first thing. So lots of language there that's useful for analysing and evaluating. So all this language then is useful for writing critically. A final word. Depth of analysis leads to reasoning, and this is the evidence on which you base your critical judgments. In this task, your reasoning came from your background knowledge. On your degree, your reasoning will be based on your analysis of academic sources. You will see how this is done in Unit 4 when we study an example of a successful academic assignment.